Yeah, for pet's sake. Welcome everybody to another episode of For Pet's Sake with our friend Gregg Boone that we do every fourth Thursday of the month at 3 o'clock Central. Talking about in reference to all of our furry friends. And so with nothing further to do, bring in our host of the show, Mr. Gregg Boone. So welcome, Greg.
Thank you.
So I see we have our guest on today. So how's things going? Pass it over to you.
Hey, you two twins dressed in black. I didn't get the memo. So, for pet's sake, Greg, it is wonderful. We want to. Do you have any problem with the play on words? I want us to have a boom in the economy. Is
Absolutely.
that a
Sounds
good
good.
play on words?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's for
Absolutely.
pet's sake and human sake.
hmm
Tell me about your pet.
Um, I currently don't have a pet. Um, you know,
Do you have any pet peeves?
um, pet peeves. Someone that sits at the stoplight and they can turn right when it's clear and they just sit there. That's one of my pet peeves.
They
Um,
have to go to traffic school. You'll have to like print off some little tickets and say, "Are you aware you could
yeah, hit
save
the law.
gas by turning right when it's clear?"
Yeah. Yeah, that law changed quite a few years ago when people still have their blinker on, they just sit there. So anyway, yeah, it's one of my pet peeves. Do
Okay.
you have a pet peeve?
Yes.
What would that be?
Um, the I have a pet peeve that health insurance companies and construction companies have government contracts, yet they have kept their employees and their customers. And let me back up and add organized religions. They have their nonprofit status or their for profit status, and they have kept my nursing system, which is the best of everyone's systems that trained me and certified me. They have kept this from the W 2 workers. They have kept it from the veterans. They have kept it from the people who go to the small business development centers and receive counseling. They have kept it from the people that are in the SCORE program as volunteer counselors to the people who are starting businesses. That is a huge pet peeve. That's like the seven-headed dragon in that is in the Bible symbolism in Revelations 17 and 18. So that's my big pet peeve. And I'm slaying that dragon.
Awesome. Good for you. Good for you.
Now, can we try a little experiment since you don't have a pet?
Sure.
What was your favorite pet growing up? Did you have pets growing up?
Yeah.
What were,
Yeah, we always
tell
had
me,
pets growing up.
which kind of pets?
We mostly had miniature schnauzers.
Oh,
Mhm.
those are kind of particular to their owners, kind of protective of their owners, aren't they?
Yeah, a little bit. For
And they
sure.
require grooming. I've never met a
Yes.
schnauzer that wasn't like clipped with all fancy.
Right. Yeah. Um, yeah, we get ours. When we had them, we would get them groomed like once every 5 weeks, somewhere in there. We'd go to the
So
groomer.
that adds significantly to the cost of a pet.
Oh yeah, definitely. That
And
definitely can.
people need to know how to afford a pet.
Absolutely.
And And then the fact that I loved my big dogs and dogs picked me. Growing up in my family of origin, we had cats. We had no litter boxes ever in the house. The cats got to go in and out. And I have to say now what I know about responsible pet ownership, I'm sure our cats created some other kittens. Because I remember we did have some male cats because they would come in periodically and they would spray in the house against the wall. And you'd be like, ah, it smells like a skunk, you know.
Oh,
But we would let them out to go potty and then they would come
mhm.
back in when they wanted to come into the house. My
Yeah.
father trained it. He liked the bootsy cats, the with the tuxedos on.
Hmm.
And he would train them. They would sit in his hand and he would like do his pet therapy. And they would be going, let's see if we can hear this. Can you hear my
Oh yeah.
purring?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, did your family speak any other languages besides the, because people and pets have their own languages, don't, right? You know, when
Hmm.
they need to go out, what they want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would let you know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had we had one that would ring a bell. Have some
Wow.
bell hanging up on the door, and it would go over there and knock on the bell and let us know that needed out. So
What was its signal for coming back in?
it would just bark, get
Ah.
on the front porch on the porch and just bark.
And
When,
did you hook it up to a leash when it went out, or did it get to run in, and or did you have a
no,
fenced
it
in
was
yard?
it had the whole yard. Yeah, yeah.
I
So
always, yeah, shock collars. One of the dogs that came into my life and adopted me, and black and white black dogs like to come and adopt me. That's really weird. I
yeah,
I was 25 the first time I was adopted by a dog. And I thought it was
okay.
somebody playing an ornery trick. I was being trained to be as needed staff for a camp that was called Bound to Win. It was about ropes courses and working with at risk youth out of Kansas City mostly. Would
Mhm.
come down to that camp in Lewisburg, Kansas. It was beautiful part of Kansas. And there were
Yeah,
even pawpaw trees there. Have you ever seen a pawpaw tree?
I have not.
What's
I'm
that
not
tree
even.
in your background? Because I love trees.
I'm not sure what kind of tree it is. It's just yeah, it's just a background. But
I wonder if it's a redwood, because it's very big, unless, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, you can tell it is a big tree. And it could be a redwood. Yeah, for sure.
Have you ever been to the redwood forest?
I have not. I am
Mm.
a little jealous that my sister lives out there in California and she has gone camping out there. Yeah.
You need to go visit your sister and go camping with her.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
And so,
Big Sur is one of those parks that she goes to. And,
wow.
yeah, yeah.
I got to go. I was being courted by Kaiser Pneumatic Strength Training Equipment Company because I
Hmm.
was equipping a fitness center for a hospital. And I really liked the Kaiser because it was pneumatic. I had seen it at Cooper's aerobic center, I
Hmm.
believe, in Dallas. And I thought, now that is perfect. It takes out the macho component of the people are like, look how much weight I'm doing, and how they intimidate others and stuff like that. And it can be used by easily adjusted and used. So when I say pneumatic for people that aren't familiar with Latin and medical terms, pneumonia, that means air. So it's compressed air that puts the weight
Okay.
load on it. It's fingertip control, kind of like you're flying one of those space jet things, like
Huh,
space packs. Yeah.
right.
And so it's very quiet, You don't hear that clang clang of the weights. And actually, when people are properly lifting weights, you shouldn't hear clang clang. If they're
Right.
clanging, that means they might be doing too heavy of a lift,
Mhm.
and they're letting it drop. So, anyway, why am I so critical about that? Is because I was a nurse for 40 years. In the last 29 of my nursing career, I was certified by the American College of Sports Medicine as an exercise specialist. So I could bring in streams of income for rural hospitals and urban hospitals for that matter, and for nursing homes. I could bring in anywhere where they actually want to rehabilitate or preserve people's fitness or build it up. So, a school district, I would recommend Kaiser equipment for them, because public school systems is another pet peeve. Humans are lifelong learners. You know how they say, oh, you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Right. But you
It's
can.
the owners that aren't willing to learn the new tricks.
True. Right.
And the pets pick up the bad behaviors. They're limited by what the pet owners know.
Mhm.
So, what
Absolutely.
is your interest in coming on this show today?
Well, I'm the host, so I have to be here.
Oh, pet's peeve. What do you suppose a pet's peeve is?
A pet's peeve is
Yeah.
something that drives you bonkers, something that
Yeah, but thinking from the pet. So let's
oh,
talk
okay.
about your dog.
Hmm.
I'd love to brainstorm the pet peeves top 10 list.
Okay.
What's you go first. What do you think is your um uh, in that list? And then we can rank them later. Let's just brainstorm them.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my gosh,
And this
I'm
is
getting a call. I need to
okay.
take a call. So Emily or Kurt, can you pop in there and you guys brainstorm? Because Kurt has a dog. I need to take this great discovery call.
Okay.
All right, Greg. So, what a way to start. You got talking about pet peeves and things that drive you bonkers and
Yeah.
teaching old dogs new tricks. Boy, going down some rabbit holes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, Helen here is bringing us Wellness Weavers, Body, Mind, Spirit, the Live Well, Health and Well-Being Cooperative. She's got a program that is Faces of the Clock, where people can check in and report if they're feeling tired, if they're feeling astonished, if they're feeling loved, or if they're feeling happy or sad or embarrassed or you know, uh,
Okay. Interesting.
so for each hour of the clock, there's a different emotion you can check in with for
Okay.
check-ins, and then we do the Everyone Counts game show. So imagine being able to take these formats that, kind of are easy to figure out for humans, but now to, have it be for pet loving and pet lovers and, to make sure pets are getting their fair crack at a happy day. What do you think, Greg?
Mhm. Yeah, that sounds good. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because when we have a pet in our family, we can kind of tell
Hmm.
when our pet is really happy. Like my dog Minnie, when that
Hmm.
tail goes, oh my
Oh
gosh,
yeah.
Minnie's so happy! Oh my gosh, she's
Yeah.
so excited!
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so excited, and she just can't hide it.
Yep. Majority.
So, what's that?
I was just gonna say the majority of dogs I've had, their tail, yeah, it just goes wonkers. So yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes pets are sitting there kind of curled up looking at us kind of like maybe giving us a hint to leave them alone, type of deal.
Yeah.
Just want to rest, whatever. Or maybe they're sitting there looking at you like you're not serving them the way you need to. And it might be a little hint that, oh, maybe they're hungry. Maybe their bowl's empty and they need food. And sure enough, go over there. And yeah. So
Yeah,
all that communication we got to do with our pets, right?
for sure. And the dogs I've had have always been hungry. It doesn't, they can eat their food and still be hungry. They want to eat when you eat as well. along
Yeah.
with what you're eating.
Do you find that for yourself? Like if I were to be eating now, you'd feel like eating?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
Now,
All right. Well,
unless
then
it was,
I'll grab a little snack and we'll see if that holds true. No, just kidding.
now, if it was chocolate, yeah,
Oh, now we found your
yeah,
weakness. All right.
for sure.
So, so Greg, tell us a little something on the front of you're passionate about, um, removing the practice of slaughtering horses.
Hmm.
So in terms of at this point, you and I talked about, is it April or March? Is it that the Kentucky Derby is in? I want to say April, but
Um,
I'm thinking maybe
April.
that was March. It's April?
Well, it just happened.
Yeah, in April.
It
So
might,
April is the
yeah,
month, right?
I think so, either April or May. I can't remember if it was this month or last
Was it
month.
just this month? Here,
I think it
when
might have been.
is Kentucky Derby 2027? Let's see what we got here. May 1st. The event kicks off Friday, April 30th. So I guess we're straddling it. The event kicks off with a thrilling weekend with sister race, the Kentucky Oaks, running the day prior on Friday, April 30th. So May Day, May Day. Well, that'll be good. May Day, May
Yep.
Day. Help the horses,
Mm,
end horse slaughter.
all right, absolutely.
So we got about 11 months to make that happen, Greg.
Yeah.
So anything new that you've been doing in the last couple weeks regarding, you know, um, ending horse slaughter or what's going
Yeah.
on?
Well, just been trying to get it out there more, um, talking about it openly, um, and just talking to people, trying to, bring awareness, telling them to be sure to call their senators and urge them to get the uh, SAFE Act on the 2026 Farm Bill. Because if we don't get it on there, then horses will be slaughtered for years to come. So it's definitely terrible. So,
Okay, so you mentioned the SAFE Act. So let's go there.
okay.
And so if you're not familiar out there already, there just as an example, there's other ways to find information on this stuff, but
Mhm.
Congress.gov is a pretty good source, should be the source to get these things. But here we go. SAFE Act. It shows in the 119th Congress, so 25, 26. So the story on this, Greg, is that there's something about was it the House of Representatives or something? I thought you were talking about something where it did not make it in yet to the Farm Bill, but that's
Yes.
where you're.
So the representatives um, already uh, pushed their vote out there, and it didn't include the SAFE Act in it. So now it's totally up to the senators to get it on there.
Okay, the Farm Bill you mentioned, it shows on a Google search. The Farm Bill is a massive multi-year legislative package that governs federal agriculture, nutrition, conservation, and forestry program. Renewed roughly every 5 years, it sets the national safety net for farmers, dedicates food assistance like SNAP, and funds vital rural and environmental initiatives. So that's where you're talking um, is that the SAFE Act can be put into the Farm Bill, and that's where everybody across the land, every voter can go to their senator in the U.S. Senate and implore their senator to do just that, to make the SAFE Act part of the Farm Bill and to make this part of the guiding force for the next 5 years. Right, Greg? That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
All right, very
Absolutely.
good.
Mm.
So the other thing would be in future episodes, we can think about sharing how to find your senator, because we just assume that all the voters out there know who their senator is, and I've been involved in enough advocacy and legislative days and so forth where folks actually need to be reminded or whatever. They're not remembering from voting for him, or maybe they voted for another candidate and they don't remember
Yeah,
who the person is that actually got in, that type of stuff.
right. Yeah.
So so that's the important part of success when we're trying to lead these legislative initiatives. We got to really boil it down and make it cookie cutter. Everybody's so busy, and to actually have typed out messages. So, Greg, that might be something you might want to look into, is actually typing that request out, that we're verbalizing it here, but maybe Emily could put it right into the description, and like those link references so that people can kind of see what we're talking about. And so the idea is you do the work for them, and then it makes it more enticing for them to pick up the phone, because they feel like they can pick up the phone, and you can even have a little demo script. You call it something like a demo script, to kind of say, just to give you an idea what you'd say to your senator. When's the last time you called your senator, Greg?
It's been a few weeks ago.
Few weeks ago. And you called your senator a few weeks ago because you're active in this. Actually, that's something that I need to do, Greg, because the
Uh,
last I talked to my senator was probably pre-COVID. I don't think I've talked to my senator during
uh,
COVID time.
okay. Yeah, that's definitely something to put on your list of things to do.
Yeah, and so actually, who are the U.S. senators for Wisconsin? So yeah, Ron Johnson, Tammy Baldwin. So and Ron Johnson, he's a character. I'm not afraid to tell people that, but he does come from the Fox Valley area up in, he's got an appreciation for the farmers and rural. And, I'm sure he's got a little appreciation for horses and stuff like that, but he's on the Republican side, and his Republican colleagues tend to, urge to, stay away from regulation. So to say that people doing slaughtering are now going to be banned from his power to not slaughter horses, as much as he thinks that's true. Ron Johnson may be inclined to not put his legislative power towards something like that. It's basically that, our politicians need to pick their battles, and maybe that's not the battle that he would choose. Tammy Baldwin, I would trust, might be an easy one to convince to, go there with the farm bill. So we'll see. But all I can do is call the offices. The last I talked to Senator Johnson, I was trying to talk to him about the Disability Immigration Act, and things like with the United Nations, with the U.S. not being ratified in the Convention for People with Disabilities. And it was very disappointing, how he and his staff handled that. So I mean, the staff did pretty good to, involve the senator, but basically when he got involved, he basically made it about, he serves on a committee, and if I get his colleagues to go with it, then he'd hop on their bandwagon, but I had to make that happen. And it's like, what is the deal with that, Senator Ron Johnson? You represent me.
Right.
You represent me. Not for me to have to contact somebody that I'm not in their district is ludicrous. So it's like, I'm not afraid to tell the world that I don't feel Senator Ron Johnson is representing me. When he starts to talk that way, And I say that boldly because other constituents in our country may have the same issue with their senator. Now,
Absolutely.
that's with this particular issue. Now, does
Mhm.
Senator Ron Johnson represent me that I believe he's doing a lot of great work? Absolutely. Like what he does in military space and, stuff like that. He does stuff that, with what a senator can do in many, many ways. Ron Johnson's doing great things for what a senator can do. But when I cite a specific thing for him to consider his position, reconsider his position, and then he starts playing these, jumping through hoop games. Well, on that specific topic or in that area of his work, how he approaches listening to a constituent, I didn't like it. Senator Ron Johnson, I don't like you for how you did that to me 6 years ago. So I'm not afraid to throw you under the bus. You
Awesome.
know, and I
Yeah.
think we got to get that way with our senators because they've got people in their ear that are talking that strong to him as well.
Mhm.
There's people with real power in industry.
Mhm.
Think of the people that this will affect, the people that are doing the thing that you don't like what they are doing, and think of what they might say to our senators. That's what we're up against,
Gotcha. Mhm.
right? So we got to
Mhm.
keep those things in mind that if we really aspire to help horses,
Mhm.
we got to think that way. It's a real process. It takes a real concerted effort. It takes a lot of assertion and being repetitive, and
Yeah.
really staying in it and not just kind of hoping somebody considered your role. You just got to ask them point blank until you get it to roll off somebody's tongue that
Right.
they're saying your message. You're not there, and our senators will come up with many colorful ways, like Helen likes to say, fancy dance words and stuff like that, with the way our
Mhm.
politicians do it to kind of show how they're siding with you. They're taking everything you're doing in full consideration. But when you read between the lines, they won't really tell you. They won't say no promises. But that's essentially what they're saying. If you think of the expression no promises, think of what your senator is telling you. And I think there might be a little equality in what they said to just simply saying no promises. That's how we do it. So that I keep that in mind
Mhm.
to really find like what's going on with my senator that they're kind of taking this bold approach. Like I
Mhm.
said with my topic for Americans with disabilities, to kind of say why is Senator Ron Johnson sidestepping it and suggesting that I jump through hoops. I'm like, I'm not going to jump through hoops. The only hoop I'm going to go through is to let people know that in this specific way, things at Capitol Hill aren't running the way that I know they need to.
Mhm.
Because to me, when our nation was set up, you know the senators were put in the position they were, in Congress, so that voters like you and me, Greg and Helen, that we know we've got a person out there that their task is to represent us. And if they're siding with other voters, well, then it's up to us what we want to do about that. To kind of coax, convince, whatever, to lobby our senator, to see the thing our way, to maybe shift them from a no vote to a yay vote.
Awesome. I like that.
Yeah,
Well said.
yeah. So other than that, Greg, in terms of what you provide out there um, for animals with more Mito and Pet Life,
Mhm.
is that the branding? Pet Life?
Yeah. Yeah. More Mido's the company. Pet Life
Yeah.
is the product. Mhm.
Yeah. So with Pet Life, anything like, is it the product and it is what it is, or is there anything new or anything anticipated with pet life? Any new technology? Any new positioning of the product? Is pet life, is it going to have any change to it, or is it just the same old thing it was since it was created?
I believe it's same thing as it has been. No change. Um, it's a great product. Uh, Saved my parents' dog's life. Um, I found out that my parents' dog's my parents' dog had stage 4 kidney failure, and immediately got her on the pet life and went from not eating, not drinking on her own to playing like a puppy and drinking and eating, and yeah, it was, yeah, life altering for that dog. So
So, I know I'm connected into the SMS messages, the text messages, and the meetings that are held multiple times a week. Any trends in terms of the response, to who is, kind of hopping on the pet life bandwagon? Is there any increase in consumption or, anything
well,
to
yeah,
report there?
yeah, definitely. Um, People are finding out about this company, this product, um, and those that find out about it on the human side, for what it does for people, then they learn about on the calls and such, that it also works for pets, and then vice versa. People that use it for their pets find out that, it works on humans. So yeah, so it's great product. It's there's a ton of testimonials in the out there, and so yeah.
Yeah. So here we are. We're talking about more Mito and we're talking about um product details. Here we go. Pet Life. So this is the Ultra Mito Pet Life 2.0.
Mhm.
So Greg, there actually was the Ultra Mito Pet Life, the original, and with but it says get back what you had before and more. So it's interesting. I'm talking about 2.0 onto something new, but the something new is to get us um, back to what we've had before. Interesting. Um, so here we go. We got, you know, dosing depending on the size of the pet. And then look at all those great ingredients serving your pet well. Look at that FDA disclaimer. So I had it before, and you'll see that I'm in here as an affiliate, to more Mito. And Greg, I thought I had you in here equals Cosmic. Thinking that must have been in there when I signed up, but when I go to Cosmic, it tells me
Yeah, it changed.
username and everything.
It changed when I did my book. Uh, I had the option to put a website in there, so I wanted it to be Gregg Boone at the instead of Cosmic. So yeah, I changed it. Sorry for not telling you about that.
No problem. So there you go.
Hmm.
Moremito.com/home/home/ Greg. And here you are. So
Yep.
same thing again, product details, you get the pet life. There we go. That's what we're talking about.
Mhm. Absolutely.
All right, so Helen Weaver is saying, what list of the top 10 pet peeves? Here are the top ones from Baby Porter. Now, Greg, who is Baby Porter? Or what is Baby Porter?
That's a good question. Why don't we ask
All right.
Helen?
Baby Porter is our service dog, and she was adopted. Joe, I miss my big dogs that always went for a hike, but it is my pet peeve of people that have dogs in town and make them live in a tiny space when they need to run, run, run.
Hmm.
So we are
Absolutely.
so fortunate that we live only, it's a nice little about a mile to the dump, the brush dump. And so we have a wagon, and we make a lot of trips to the brush dump. Baby Porter knows that when she gets to a certain part of the trees, she has to sit, and then she gets to run. Okay, go. Zoom, 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 zoom. She has the zoomy, zoom, zooms. So
Yeah.
not being able to run would be one of her pet peeves, but she gets to run because we we have that appreciation about her. Um, Baby Porter wants to pull. She wants to be a lead sled dog. And
Yeah.
so there are certain times when she gets to be a sled dog, and so she doesn't have her service dog vest on for that. She gets to go on a leash on a blue bicycle and pull for all she's worth, and go on a country run, and that's lots of fun, family. So I ride my bicycle, my racing bicycle behind her, which is those very narrow little tires that doesn't do well on gravel roads. And so I have to get off and walk my bicycle for the last mile to get out to Lake Idlewild, where she loves getting to be able to go in the lake. And so she has her pet peeve is, as I put in the chat, if Joe, her human daddy, leaves the house, she gets anxious. She runs to the windows. Where'd he go? What's he doing? Am I, what is he supposed to be taking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, am I missing out? But she does the same thing if I leave. And if she sees me getting dressed in like I'm leaving the house or putting on my backpack, oh, take me, take me, please take me. No, baby, can't take you, today.
Yeah.
So that's her pet peeve if she doesn't get to go. Um, she is exemplary on the train, and her first train ride was at age 7 months. She
Okay.
had been in a, so this is one of my pet peeves. She was raised in a pen with six other litter mates and a mother that didn't get to go outside and run.
Wow.
So apparently the mother got pregnant. At one point, she was out and about. Um, and this guy, he lived in a very small little rural community, and he lived kind of on the edge of the community. But this dog was raised in a pen in a garage. He fed the animals, and he hosed out their pen, but they were not socialized at all. So, the guy posted a picture, and I said to Joe, "Okay, now we're set up enough that we can have a dog if you take care of it, because I'm really stretched thin. I'm all the time on my computer, and I have to be gone a lot. I'm searching
Mhm.
to build my inner team of businesses and nonprofits that want my health and wellness benefits." So Kurt knows all about that and why I have a huge pet peeve against organized religions and against people that have government contracts for health services. Pets should be a covered expense. They are definitely a part of the Live Well Health and Wellness Cooperative, our online support system for people
Mhm.
who want to have trauma informed care, who want to have pet therapy, who want to, and then they get the benefit of my intellectual property, the Everyone Counts Games show, the Circle, they can get their Circle certifications if they and their pet um, have nice manners and can sit quietly in the support group or can alert to evil within the room. So pets are amazing. When they hold back against a people and they won't stop barking, we need to pay attention to our
Yeah,
pets.
for sure.
Yeah. So thank you for letting
Mm,
me weave in both the human and Kurt. John Petros Sr. is here. I wonder where
Yeah,
Junior is.
yeah, John is here for another show, but Greg, do you want to wrap up? Yeah, closing comments for the show?
alrighty.
But don't deny us the opportunity to ask John Petros what his favorite pet was, if he likes pets.
John, do you
Oh,
have any
you're on
comments?
mute, John.
Oh, I do. Right now we have 3 little dogs and 2 cats. None of
You
the
have a
which,
menagerie.
yeah, yeah. We have a mother that's the teacup chihuahua
Oh,
and one of her sons. And then we have a odd dog. Um, I can't even think of the name of it. I can't even think of what type of dog it is. And then my kids wanted kittens. So somebody was advertising that they had these 2 kittens for sale. Even showed pictures of little kittens in the ad. So we sent somebody over with the money, pay farmer, brought him back, brought him in the house, and these were not kittens. They were older cats. So we still have them. We kept them. But my son had a black lab
Mm,
and had that dog for 14, 15 years, which is kind of a long life for a black lab. And my son was probably 14 at the time, and the vet had said something that he wasn't doing right with the dog. So my son turns around and goes, "How many dogs have you had?" He goes, "I've had three dogs." "In how long?" 10 year span. "So you had 3 dogs, all of them died within 10 years. I've had one dog for 14 years. You telling me how to take care of a dog." So sometimes we know better than the vets do, I guess. So, so I guess the black lab was probably my best one. Real friendly around kids and everything. So
absolutely. I had a black lab, um, and I had him for 14 years. Um, and he got to the point where, yeah, he was very lethargic and had to take him down after, yeah,
yeah,
14
that's what we had
years.
to do with this one too. We had to put him to sleep.
Yeah.
People used to
And
ask me how old my black lab was. Well, the fact is the black lab was actually half Newfoundland, and the neighbor's coon dog got in and bred with the purebred mom. These people were at the camp at the Bound to Win camp, and they had these big dogs. And so when I felt a tug on the back of my hair, I thought that was a human trick. I was sitting on the ground, you know how people tap a shoulder and they're, on the other side. No, I turned around. I was eye level with this dog. That dog chose me. I named her Leela, which means dark as the night, because Helen means bright as the dawn. So we were hike hitching buddies, and she lived to see me get married. She saw me have children. She was wonderful with the children. She got bred by a German Shepherd that was half the German Shepherd's mother was part wolf, or the father was. Anyway, they made beautiful babies together, big and fluffy, and Yeah, what a wonderful joy she was. And to have such a beautiful farm that those two dogs I loved, even though our farm was just 25 acres, which is nice. When I say just 25, who doesn't want 25 acres, 5 acres of broke ground, an orchard that we planted before we got married, our own chickens, a spring that never ran dry. And the creek had changed its course, so we had a bulldozer complete the work and make a pond. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, we were always, for our 30-year marriage, we were always improving things. There's no lack of anything to do on a farm. And
Okay.
and this in Marshall County, Kansas, is was under ocean. It was shallow ocean at one point. So we have sand pits. It was glaciated region. We've got those big red boulders that got deposited in the fields from up in Minnesota because of the glaciers. So real interesting terrain in the Flint Hills. And so that was heaven on earth for dogs. And both of them would behave with a leash. They were just very in tune with their owners. And the German Shepherd grew up going to work, popping in the truck and going to work with the man I would marry, who had a construction company. So when we raise our dogs correctly and give them love, they do the same in return. And they love the
Mhm.
children. And then the fact that you have cats, are they friends too? Like our farm cats were friends with the dogs?
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
yeah, when people say, oh, they fight like cats and dogs, well, that's because they weren't socialized, they weren't raised together.
Right.
So, thank you
No,
so much. So I think it
absolutely.
was a very interesting section of Pete's or Pet. Tell me the name of it. Pets
For pet's sake. Mm,
for pet's sake, yes. And
yeah.
and I like that play on words.
Thank you.
For Pete's sakes, we do
Right.
need to have pets in our life, and we need them to be part of the Live Well Health and Wellness Cooperative Insurance. So
Mhm.
you talked about the right choice of food that you found that helped turn around some pets' health, but we need to look at the right kind of food that turn people's health around, the right kind of
Mhm.
support that turns people's health around. And, you know, uh, John, I'm glad to see that you're in Alignable, but there's so many people now in Alignable that have mypitch.com meeting platforms. Are you one of them?
no,
Okay, well they're
no,
now they're all like, uh-oh, now we're all competing to try and sign up people to my pitch platform, which is I have the paid account, but I grandmother in people to get them to the Great Discovery. And it is a way that we can do business in an online meeting platform that's interactive. And when it's time for people to sign a contract or whip out their credit cards or whatever to make the business deal, our contacts are IDEA compliant. Are you familiar with the term IDEA compliance and what it relates to?
yeah.
How, and tell me how you know that, John, because a lot of people do not know that.
I've checked into all types of contracts and trying to find the best ones for my business.
Okay. Well, in order for a public school, to get their federal funds they have to meet the IDEA compliance education. It's Individuals Disability Education Act. Now, humans are lifelong learners. So just like Cesar Chavez, no, Cesar Chavez was the head of the migrant workers. You remember the show, The Dog Whisperer?
Mhm.
Caesar.
I think so.
Yeah. So he worked with pets that were neurotic because their owners didn't know how to train them correctly.
Mhm.
So we need people whisperers, we need pet whisperers, and we need the Live Well Health and Wellness Cooperative so we can all pay our bills
Mhm.
and have the 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 proper way to um, give attention to anything that's not quite right in our life.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we can take this conversation offline. We need to end this to start
Yeah.
John's show, which we're a few minutes past.
Okay,
time.
sorry.
They
Thank you
did
so
John's
much.
show that we needed to start like 10 minutes ago. So, Greg, do you want to close this out?
Sure, sure. So, like to thank Helen for being my guest today. John, thank you for being here as well. I guess that does it for now. Thank you for joining, everyone.
Thank you for having me.
And
And Kurt, thanks for filling in so I could get things straightened out with the Great Discovery as we continue to weave the solid way that we can serve all the content creators. So,
so
Greg,
see
are
you,
you in the Great
every,
Discovery? And
yeah,
John,
we'll
are
see
you?
everybody
Mhm.
next time in the fourth Thursday of the month.
Mhm.
So,
Sure.
see everybody.